सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Sapna, go ahead.
Prasanna ji, can you pause the video for a minute?
Yeah, anybody else? Aniruddha.
Namaskar, Guruji. Namaskar, everyone. I think Sapna ji very succinctly and clearly put in all the things I would have liked to share. Like I said, don't need more than a minute. This has really been an unexplainable, fortunate series of I can't say just classes. It's just series of experiences for me. Yes, the initial struggle was there right from the Tattva Bodha. I mean, I had at that time I was more on offline than a class participant, but the Tattva Bodha grounding definitely helped climb, let's say, one step at a time. Nevertheless, I think the journey is probably similar for all of us here. But what I'm noticing now after, let's say, 4, 5, whatever years, is that even though I need to grapple with some concepts, it's coming from a position of ease. I'm not beating myself up as I would have done, let's say, in my past student days, that I don't understand this or I don't, whatever it is. So I think that has been a definite difference I'm noting in the approach to such a profound subject matter. And yes, there are, I thought I would some of the mantras that I would have mentioned, but I think that will take away from what I wanted to convey. And the second one, I must say, is the Nididhyasanam. I'm trying to apply that in my, let's say, daily meditation. Not every day, but let's say at least twice in a week, I pick up a topic and I try to sort of unravel that in my mind or unravel in my head. So I think this, as far as a daily or a frequent or something that I carry forward or I'm trying to get better at, is this would be definitely a very, very don't want to use words like positive or it's just a level changing sort of a tool that Guruji you have exposed to us. And yes, Sanskrit, I don't have any formal backing in that, and that was very intimidating for me. But I think, like most of I don't want to make any excuses. I'm not enrolled into any classes, but I try to put some of the low-lying bits together to make sense of the class. And Guruji, your patience with unraveling the subject matter for us, and all the great support from parties, the management of the Zooms and the YouTubes and all that. I just wanted to express my thanks, Guruji. We are going to continue, and this is going to be the same thing I'll say every time the question comes up, but want to take the occasion. So, Dhanyavad, Guruji, and Dhanyavad, Sahapati.
Thank you, Aniruddha. Nice. Yeah, Mohan side.
Namaste, everyone. Um, I first want to thank Guruji. I don't think we can thank enough, but this has been a really, I would say, like transforming experience for me. I always like around 10 years ago, I started looking at all the Upanishads. I used to just look in book fairs and all that, the books, and say, oh, this is very tough. And it was very, very incomprehensible for me. Uh, I almost bought. There used to be a book in Telugu, 108 Upanishads or something like that, which is this much big. And then I used to go and look at it, and it used to be very intimidating, actually speaking. And I never bought it. But just before this class, somehow I think somewhere I read and I bought a small Kathopanishad book from Gita Press, a very small actually. It just gives us and immediately after that, the proposal to from Guruji to learn came, and I was really surprised. And uh, even now, it's a bit difficult for me, as Swapna ji said, like why don't people attend the class? Uh, yeah, it's basically time. It's basically time. For me, it has been a bit of a challenge because late night till 12:31 I have all these meetings and immediately in the morning, and then it requires a lot of support and from my basically my wife, because both of us are working. Morning is like a struggle for us. We have to, and the kids go. So I think most of the struggle goes to her only actually. uh, but from the Shastram side, what has been very, very revealing for me, and I still am not I'm not very knowledgeable in that. I struggled actually in the course. Uh, the very concept of Jivan Mukti and the very concept of that the Atma. Now I have a very good understanding of it, that it is inside, and then you are unraveling that actually through your sadhana and all that. That now I think I have a better, very much better understanding. But I think I have a long way to go. In between, there was a good amount of period where I was struggling actually with some of the concepts. This specific thing from this class, I think I learned that and with Shankar Bhashyams and with Guruji's explanation that it is you, it is inside, it is not something, and it is not something that you're seeking outside of you for achieving this moksha, or for getting to a state where you do not want, or you're not again coming back here. So that has been a big revelation. I actually miss all the satsangs. I don't know if people know. I never attend satsangs because I have to rush. We have to leave to office by 9 o'clock, and then there is puja after this and all that. I really miss those because I used to attend during the COVID days, and I used to enjoy those. So much of rich discussion used to be there. Um, but as always, and there's nothing to say, nothing can compensate, but Guruji's explanations, his dedication to this, just bringing that Shankar Bhashyam to life has been, and that's why when Guruji said the next Upanishad we are going to start, I was so excited. I don't know if my wife is excited because then she is thinking like, oh God, again one more year. But uh, this is a journey for me, and I'm really. I think whenever again there's one more Kathopanishad, I think I will again join, because to learn more, to get into more details of how to practice. Now I think it's become more of definitely theoretically. I now have lot more understanding, but how to make it more practical, how to practice this in real life, in terms of when you do your meditations, or when you consider situations in life where you are lost. uh, I for sure, I think Bhagavad Gita, that is the most I think my life has changed totally after attending the Bhagavad Gita class for the last 4 5 years. My total outlook of life has changed, and when we review the Bhagavad Gita, I definitely will express that. But uh, as Anuruddha ji said and Swapna ji said, I think my thanks and I don't know how to express my gratitude to Guruji, to all your to all the Sahpartis, and arranging this is not an easy thing. We have been in this journey for so long, so I'm looking forward for the next learning sessions of Kathopanishad, and I hope actually I think I'll at least get to the next level of learning in the next sessions. So thank you.
Thank you, Mohan Sai. Hari Ramakrishna.
Hari Om Guruji. I won't tell anything about the Upanishad as such, because so many people have spoken about it the way that you are taking. I fully endorse. But more than Upanishad, what I have benefited from this class is observing your simplicity and your humility, your commitment. Apart from that, Nachiketa's first boon that you are proving by the dedication and service that you are offering to your parents, which we see almost in every class. That has benefited me immensely. If I'm joining Kathopanishad, it's more than studying the Upanishad, to continue my association every time, though I attend only one class a week. But looking at you, the way, the sincerity and the dedication with which you are teaching us, for me, that is more than Vedanta. And that is actually the practical Vedanta which I am. I thank you very, 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 very much. My deepest gratitude.
Thank you, Hariji. Ramoji.
I will take the last chance. Others can speak. Or if you want, I can speak now. There's no issue.
I'm just calling the order in which the images are on my screen. So.
Okay. In that I will speak. Okay. When you wrote that to speak something yesterday, instead of speaking extempore, which may not be proper, I wrote down something yesterday, 4-5 pages. So I'll just read it out. It's in a different aspect, a different play of words, in a lighter mode. So I'll read it out. Thank you. I titled the thing, Yama, the Benevolent Universal Terrorist. Katha has really fascinated me for more than 40 years. I had a Tamil version of Swami Chinmayananda's first Jnana Yajna talks in Tamil, Moolam only, which was conducted in Pune in 1951. 1 year back, I think I typed it out and passed on the book and the typed thing to Chinmaya Mission, Mumbai. Okay. I say the word Yama gives a terror in everyone's heart because one does not know when Antaka is going to knock at your door. So every moment and every movement of our life is in terror. It is the Tampura Shruti on which the monorail, every moment of our life moves as a duel with the duel. Though through the Katha Shruti Yama tells, it need not be so. And I am here to give you Amritam. Though neither our parents did the Vishwajit Yaga, nor they sent us to Yama's door, we have been standing on Yama's door for more than 70-80 years in terror of Yamadarshan, not just for 3 days as Nachiketa said to do with Sumanas, but terror in heart, singing, Adibhishana Kadubhashana Yamakinkara Patali, Vidatadana Paripidana Maranagama Samayi, Umaya saha mama chedasi yama shasana nivasan Shiva Shankara harame mama duritam. Though we are at his door literally, since the moment of our birth, Yama did not give us any vara or teach us. Maybe because we did not remain as a Namasya Atiti, adorable guest, nor did we remain Anasnan 119 as Nachiketa did. Because Yama is always incessantly overworking as agent of the Layakaraka Shiva, and therefore always on a world tour. And the social media is full of columns and columns of the news of newly departed. And therefore, Yama seems to be telling us with a permanent notice board on his gate. I have already taught Nachiketas in the past. So if you are a serious student, please go and study Katha with Shankara Bhashya, which we already did. The word Vishwajit Yaga that the Vajasravas did denotes the one has to have the Nisprihatvam towards the world to attain the Amritatvam that Yama taught. The terror of Yama, the Maranabhaya, makes us stick to Dharma, as Yama is Dharmaraja, because he is also bound because of Bhishmas Vadatavate. And thus, Karma Phaladata, with a super efficient and never faulting Chitragupta as his assistant, he delivers justice as deserved and not as desired. Giving a 40-page notebook and a pencil to a local priest representative of Chitragupta and Chitragupta Jayanti, I think we ought to change it to tab these days. Chitragupta records what is fact, whether we acted in Dharma or without Dharma in every moment of our life. As a student of Bhagavad Gita and Katha, there are three main characters in the Guru Parambara: Yama, Krishna, and Nachiketas. That is our Guru Parambara here. Whether Krishna learned anything from Santipani is a different thing. But we understand that Krishna is totally in Katha mood in Bhagavad Gita. He seems to have several blood transfusions from Yama. Therefore, he is in a Yama mood. Sarathas many slokas to Bhagavad Gita from Katha. So Krishna's blood is A+, Amrita positive. So that Amrita positive blood flows not vainly in the veins of Bhagavad Gita from the Shruti Vakyas of Yama. The biggest contrast in the Katha is Yama, that is Mrityu, is talking about Amrityu or Amritam. I will say Yama is the right guy to teach Amritam because even though as Yama he is a post holder, he has transcended the post. He has become postless. That means his trance has ended and Yama is a transcended person. Therefore, he is the ideal guru, Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam cha. The whole thief of Katha is Nisprihatvam, leading to moksha. Katha inspires me to question myself when I will get the Nisprihatvam, when I am covered in the Apara Moha Timira, Vairakshatam first loga, or when I will be able to say, Matar Lakshmi Bhajasva Kachita Param, Partrahari. Now, the third character, the Nachiketas, about him is said, Tisro Ratris Tava Grihi Me, 119. Determination to stay in the path, let the aeons come. Girivat Pande Stida. Because he has the 6 qualities that Sagasam Dairyam, Buddhist Shakti Parakrama, Shadede Yatra Vartande, Tatra Deva Sahayagat. Equipped with these Shadgunas, Nachiketa is determined to determinate, to limit his desires to only non-binding desires, Dharma Aviruddha Kama. That is the quality of Vairagya, arising out of his Nityanistu Vastu Viveka and opting for the Sreyo Marga. Vairagyam is the quality that Nachiketas teaches me. Of course, I have some Vairagya like Nachiketas because my life changed with one statement of Vivekananda. Those who live for others alone live. The rest are more dead than alive. And that is the Vairagya that made me burn the bridge, so to say, and throw in the shirt and become a 3-year student in an ashram and begin my definite journey in the Sriyo Marga more than 20 years back. Though the path started as an inner Shruti for over 45 years, a course correction, a U-turn. Even brothers scoff on called a fool and ask whether Gita will feed you. But I just smile, and I am still alive without begging, bowl in my hand, meeting all my needs with whatever I have for over 21 years without a job. That Shankara Bhagavad Pada taught me to live with Illabase Nijakarmopatham 40 years back. But still, the full Nisprayatam is yet to come to me. I admire the smartness of Nachiketa. Though he did not go for boons, his smartness in asking for combo boons when offered unasked. Gautama, my father should be free from anxieties or worries about me. He should enjoy the peace of mind. He must be not angry with me. After released by you, I should be recognized by my father. He should talk to me free of anger as before. All these are one boon. 4 in 1. Sorry, 5 in 1. He assures a safe return for himself first to his house in Buloga, like the old lady who asked for a boon to eat in gold vessels, along with her great grandchildren. As a second boon, he asks for the benefit of the society the details of Nachiketa Agni for the temporary immortality through Surga Prapti. In this, he mischievously states that there is no insecurity in Surgaloka because Lord Yama is not there, but we are always left to face to face Yama every moment of our life. Here it means the time principle. Kala Tattvam is not active in Surgaloka but active in our Bhuloka. The time acts much slower in Surgaloka than on the earth, and there is no fear of old age. The residents of Surgaloka are free from hunger and thirst. They are beyond grief, fear of old age, death, etc. So they rejoice in heaven. Impressed by this smart request for 2 boons, Yama gives him a sringa, a necklace, additionally. Then only Nachiketa as a boon, he comes to the Jnanakanda. First one was purely Laukika boon, just as we stand before the Ishvara with Vyavaharik request. The second, a Karmakanda one, and this the third one, about the secret of existence or non-existence after death. In fact, about the mysterious self, to know about the Atma, about the beyond. And thus, Nachiketa also teaches me without teaching that Dagaranda Tad and Dagaranda Tvam, that is the third person Tat and the second person Tvam, is more important than the Dagaranda Asmat, that is Aham. The Uttama Purusha, to realize the teaching, Taditomasi, and to further realize Sarvam Ahamasi. And then, after successfully deflecting all the tempting offers of Yama, foiling every attempt of Yama to dissuade from his insistence of the third boon as requested, Nachiketa, as if derisively roars the statement of the whole Katha, as if with the left hand, Tavaiva Vaham Tavanatya Gite, which is the key teaching, Nisruhatvam as the first step towards Sriyo Marga. My guru always used to quote the last line of the following sloka from Katha, admiring Nachiketa to highlight the level of Vairagya one should have. That is Tavaiva Bhagat Tavanatya Gite, 126. What a beauty. Each line is a university. My question to myself is, when I will be able to say that? My guru always used to say, we Indians never can say, no, thank you. And he used to jocularly say that when you are offered something, even after a full meal, like a sweet or a fruit, we will never say, no, thank you. But we will say, not now, after some time. And as the Tamil saying goes, Chumma kadacha chittapavukku nende. Meaning, if anything is got free, 2 for my uncle also. Vyavaharically, Nachiketas brought me to question myself. When will I stop looking for the combo offers? That too for the unwanted things purchased in the RD sale or ADA sale and left decayingly unopened for over decades. Yama tells about the Kachit Dhiratvam 221, which we find in Nachiketas, which we have to acquire to proceed further to moksha. Then finally, Yama teaches me to check myself before I open my mouth. Swayam Pandidam Manyamanaham. Let it become Ande Niyamana Yadantaha. A golden phrase to remember 24/7. Lest I am misled. And I too also should not mislead others, which Krishna phrases as Nabuddhi Vedam Janayet. This is the key point for the Guru shoppers, a beware board. Like the look before you leave, Yama teaches me, pause, think before you speak. That is, whether to speak and not to speak, and speaks and saves me from the Sthala Jala Vibhrama, Mahabharata Draupadi incident. The inappropriate laughter in the inappropriate place, using insultive and derisive words towards anyone, especially a guest, saying, Andasya putraha kadam drishyate samyakidi, leading to a Mahabharata war in our lives. So Yama teaches me Vaktabas. So there's a saying in Tamil, Na adanginal nalum adangum. That means when one wins over the tongue, the other four is one. Meaning, the other four senses, indicating that Vaktabas is difficult to achieve. Reminding of the famous Turukkural in Tamil, Yakavarainum Nakaka Kavakal Shokapuduvar Sollirakapate. Meaning, whatever you control or not, control the tongue, or else you will suffer because of that. Above the Draupadi statement. Kadam andasya putraha samyak drishtum shakyade iti. And for that, I will pray daily with Shankara Bhagavad to the Jnanambika Annapurni of the Jnanasthana Kashi, Jnana Vairagya Siddhartam Bhiksham Dehi Chaparvati. As Krishna says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena chakrihyate. That Nachiketa Vairagya, I will call it such, like Nachiketa Agni. I say Krishna picks up from Nachiketa. I have restricted myself only to the first valley. Dhanyavada.
Thank you. Thank you, Ram. Rukmini.
That was another class, Ramuji, as usual. My God, what a presentation. Huh? You combined everything. Nachiketa, Tirkural, Bhagavad Gita, and you left us nothing to speak. And anyhow, since I have listed, I have to speak because whatever I wanted to say, most of you have already expressed. And I have to say the same thing. And my journey, as Swapna said, with this Guru Parampara is 25-year-old. So I went to Rishikesh Ashram in 1999. Until such time, my life was totally revolving around my family, my kids, my husband, office, and I studied after my marriage. So I don't have university, college experiences. Everything I studied from home with the family, feeding the family also. So after that much of struggle, and at that age, I got married at the age of 19 and went to Delhi, and so much struggles in the life. And this was a I don't know, Swamiji, Puji Swamiji used to say, you come to this path after a grace, so much grace and so much punyam you must have done in so many janmas to come into this path. So I express my gratitude. I was thankful. Oh my God, I did so much punya. I was so happy. So after meeting Swamiji and got Diksha from him, my life has changed. I must say in one word. I found a father figure in him. I found a guru and whatnot. So my frequent visits to ashram, and in Delhi we had gurus, but not a permanent one. So I used to go and complain to Swamiji, Swamiji, give me somebody. Now my enthusiasm to study the Shastram and to learn more was so, I was craving, I must say. And we didn't have a permanent guru. Those who were well transit, Swami Muditvadanandanja, Nitya Bodhananda, and whoever, they will stay in my place and they used to teach classes. And then Srinivasanji came. So he was taking class, and before that, there used to be classes in my house. Whoever comes, Swamiji Muditvadananda ji from Gujarat, he used to have. Then we used to go to Rishikesh again. Then Swamiji used to assign somebody, and he involved me in Aim for Seva, and that is how I started my Balwadi and all. So after tasting this Sastram and Guru Parambara, having initiated by Swamiji himself, and my life not only changed, my craving with my limited intellect, limited grasping, I wanted to study more, listen. So I used to complain to Srinivasanji, I am already very old, please teach me more. But he, he is such a thorough teacher. If he is not prepared, he won't take the class. So he used to pass on. Sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, myself and Sangeeta, we were enrolled. So I was so desperate. When I moved to Coimbatore, I was looking for a person, and somehow I had a contact with Sunita. She warned me, you can't. First, I wanted to enroll Sanskrit class, and at that time, Jaikumarji was teaching Sanskrit, and Srinivasanji, somebody gave Sunita's number. I contacted her. She said he's a very busy man. You can't meet him. I was so desperate, and one day I barged into Jaikumarji's room. He was living at Shankar Sadan, and I just spent more than 2.5 hours. My God, as if I found a treasure. And that was really true. So then afterwards, I never let him, and all the classes, what he takes, I enrolled Sasyam, and I couldn't manage the homework and all. That time I was traveling up and down Delhi, and I can't take homework is so much. Then he said, you have to continue one more year. My hurry was there. I enrolled myself with Samskrita Bharati. Sorry for boring you with my this thing, but I have to tell you my background. So this I enrolled Samskrita Bharati with my again limited intellect. I passed the exams, but nothing went here. For Samskrita Bharati number, Rukmani Gopal also passed with many marks, but I didn't have. Then again I have to. So and then his classes, not only his classes, whenever I get an opportunity, I visit his parents, and Amma Appa, they loved me so much. And I used to go and claim myself, I am your daughter. And though forcefully declare self, I am your daughter. I took that liberty, and I used to visit them whenever I could. And I met Jay Kumarji and his life, as everybody said, I have observed from close quarters. My God. He lives Vedokta, Shastra Ukta. He is without the Kashaya Vastra as sannyasi, doing his all his duties, what Shastra says, performing all the duties, teaching, living Vedokta, his life, and looking after his parents, not only his parents, even if I have, Gopalji has medical issue, I can contact him. He will ask so much care. I learned this from him. And there was a lot of changes in my lifestyle. I brought in all my, this, when Krishna started, we learned Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, all those things. When Kathopanishad started, this Nachiketas, especially this Vali 126th sloka mantra, Swabhava Martyasya Yadanta Kaitat, Sarvendriyanam Jarayanti Tejaha, Api Sarvam Jivitam Alpameva, Tataiva Vagastava Nritya Geethe. That impressed me so much. And look at that child cries. What does he say? Keep though thy chariots, thy wealth, thy all the offerings, with you. I thought, my God, a grain of this craving, if I had, my life would have been made. I envied that child. That was one. And in Delhi, we had a glorious life. 4-floor house, car, driver, British parties. I tasted wine. We used to host parties. We used to travel every weekend, we were going to London, Heathrow, and all this glorious and children's education after seeing. And this, after those things, I visualize, and then somebody is unmuted. And this caught me. And seeing a live demonstration from our own Guruji, he is there. So these both have changed my life. And now I am so comfortable, and I feel with the Shastra, I am in the safe hands, and with Jaykumarji's teaching. And my worry is he should not stop, but he's so determined to teach. He has no other, I must say, anybody, if you are ready, he will extract time. I have seen the maid tells me he doesn't sleep. Whenever I go, I used to tell him, please do take care of yourself. Do take care of yourself. He has no time for himself, I have seen. Believe me. And he takes so much time to teach, to give to the society, not only us, anybody, if they need help, they can. So what I am trying to say, and we are so blessed, and Swamiji's words, blessing is there. We have got a guru. Now I am in a hurry to learn more. Kalo gakshati vegena. So I tell Jaykumarji, teach more, teach more. Though the reception is limited, but still want to hear more. So we are blessed to have him, and we should pray for his well-being. He should be amongst us, and we should receive the Shastra Vidya Atmanyanam from him. And my mantra is always in the morning with prayer, aham nitya mukta, aham na akarta, na bhokta, all those things. And so he establishes. And with that, I can go on because there are so many people waiting, and I am never tired of speaking about him or about his teachings. So, with this, with the prayer that God should bless him and bless us all to receive this jnanam from him and get benefited. Thank you.
Thank you, Rukminiji and Gopalji. Maheshji.
Namaste, Jayakumarji. And namaste, all the Sahapadis. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak few words. My journey with all this started few years ago when I accidentally came across an email from, I think, forwarded to me by somebody from Jayakumarji about Tattva Bodha class. That is the first beginning. And by the time I took action and joined, I was already on the waiting list. So I called Jayakumarji and he said, just stay there, people will drop out. So sure enough, a lot of people dropped out. So I was fortunate enough to join the Tattva Bodha. So that was the beginning of my journey. And the way whatever, that was a foundation for my learning, because a lot of these technical terms, Satyam, Mithya, all those several Samadhama, all those things I never understood, or some of them I not even heard. I had an opportunity to learn, and that immensely helped me to understand the class of Bhagavad Gita and especially also Kathopanishad. And so that was a big thing for me. And as far as now that we are talking about Kathopanishad, this journey for the last little over 2 years has been, I don't know, very rewarding. I mean, I learned a lot, especially the nuances of all the, all the teaching. I didn't know anything about Kathopanishad when I joined, except I know when I joined, I read something. Before that, years ago, I started there was some Swamiji in Chinmaya Mission. He started teaching or chanting Upanishad. At that time, it was Taittiriya Upanishad. He started with Taittiriya Upanishad. But I didn't, other than chanting, I'd never appreciated what was there, because I didn't understand what was chanting. Nor he explained. It was just purely chanting. Now, fast forward so many years after having learned Kathopanishad, it makes me wonder how the treasure in this Upanishad, and not just learning chanting may be good, but understanding the meaning, especially with Adi Shankaracharya's Bhashyam, is, I don't know, there's nothing equal to it. So now I go back some of the words, even to Taittiriya Upanishad, some of the words I can connect. It makes a lot more meaning to me to understand. So definitely knowing something and chanting makes, I would say, several fold better, in my opinion. And that was one thing. And my learning this one, my thinking, my outlook has been a very paradigm shift in the last few years, both through Bhagavad Gita and Kathopanishad. And I was very surprised to say that of all people, Yama is teaching this. Yama taught this to Rachika. I never thought, because I never, as I said, it was all cheating to teach chanting. So I didn't know. And then he is teaching how to not to die. It's kind of counterintuitive to me. So, and in a way now, like once you go through the Kathopanishad teaching, you are no longer afraid of Yama. He is a friend. So a lot of learning. I mean, all the slokas or the mantras. I mean, I don't want to say when something is better than other or something, because everything is, there's no superfluous mantras there or excess or something. Everything goes through explanation. But having said that, there are two, three things I very much stuck with me is the Ratha Kalpana, that to help to understand this body, mind, and who is Atma and all that. That was one thing, and I could relate it to what was there in the Bhagavad Gita. And the other one was this, the Shrestha praise. And then Natatra Suryo Bhati. Because I've heard these people chant in Meenakshi temple or some other place. I never understood the meaning. So, and so that it has been a very, what do you call it, enjoyable, or I don't know, enjoyable may not be the right word. It's a journey for me for the last 2 years. And one of the mantra which stuck with me, another thing that stuck with me was, I think the second Valli 24th mantra, if I remember right, and that it says that even after you learn, get Atma Jnanam, you know about Brahman and all that, unless you change your way of life, there's no benefit. So some kind of thing, that's what I understood from that mantra. So it's not just, oh, I know what is Atma, or what is Brahman, or who is Brahman, I am Brahman and all that. But unless we change our habits or our outlook, our, control our mind, control our senses, we are not going to get the real benefit. But anyway, so it has been a very rewarding journey for me personally. And I thank you very much for that. And as Swapnaji said, the I attended only the Kathopanishad, what do you call that, classes, not class, not satsang, Abhyasa Varga. Only that I could attend. But strangely enough, even though I was in India for 7-8 months during this period, more than that, it was very difficult for me to attend all this in India. I'm a lot more flexibility being in Houston to attend. Maybe it is the time difference. That is primarily the reason, because I'm constrained by where I was staying to take care of my mother and all that. It was not. Whereas here I have more flexibility. So that was very useful. And I also want to thank you from my bottom of heart for the teaching you have done. You not only just Shankara Bhashyam, you went beyond Shankara Bhashyam to make us connect with so many other things, other slokas or other Upanishads or other Bhagavad Gita or many things, and some Sanskritam also. It was very, very useful to me. I thank you very much. And I know you, for every class, you put a lot of effort before you come and take the class. It's not like, you come extempore and speak. You prepare quite a bit. I think my guess is at least you'll spend 4 or 5 hours preparing for each class. That's my guess. I could be wrong. So from that perspective, I wanted to pay maximum attention to your class, respecting the time and effort you put in to prepare for the class. Otherwise, I'm not doing a good enough job to you. That's why I feel it. So I don't think I have missed many classes. Maybe a couple of classes I missed because of travel. Other than that, I have always, especially Kathopanishad class, because I always find that if I miss the class, it takes me 3 times more time to go through the recording. That is because I'm constantly rewinding and trying to learn. It is not. So it was very difficult. But the book you gave us, the PDF, was very, very useful. So I thank you for all the facilities you provided. I also thank everybody, others who provided, managing the Zoom, uploading the recording, satsang and all that. I appreciate very much. Thank you very much. I look forward to the next class. I am already prepared. I printed, I bound, already set, ready to go. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Mahesh. Thank you. Venkatramanji.
What I wanted to tell, already others have told. Now I only want to express my gratitude to Guruji, who initiated me into this Upanishad learning. And in fact, Jayakumarji I should thank. He said, Uddishtata Jagrada Samskritam Nibodhata. He told me that. So I thought I should learn Sanskrit to understand the Kathopanishad all better. But then Durgam Padastat Anantaram Abhagatavan. How difficult it is, I understood later when Jayakumarji explained the grammar in every class. Somewhat I try to understand. But the time Jayakumarji took for each class, explaining each word by word, the meaning, I understood that the mantra was very, very important. So I started reading 2-3 times. But reading in Sanskrit was itself a challenge for me. So I had to put a lot of effort to read the sloka. But let alone the so many meanings what Jayakumarji explained in each. So when he goes to the next sloka, I thought that was more important to start reading than the previous one. So it was going on, the journey was going on like that. Every sloka I understood was more important than the previous one. Now, what to do? So I started trying to read. That was not even understanding, but read. So 3 words Jayakumarji told. Shravanam, Mananam, Nidityasanam. I'm in the Shravanam stage, in the reading that Upanishad all the time. I have to come to Mananam and Nidityasanam. So I don't know how much time it will take. But when Yama started in the second valley, Shreyas and Prayas, I thought it was not meant for Nachiketa because already he knew everything. And he says, Navitena Tarpaniyo Manushyaha. So, what is that? The prayers and all those things people don't want. You tell me what is the real. And when Yama answered 2 boons of Nasiketa, he thought the 3rd boon he can brush him aside with something very minor one he may ask and then. But when the 3rd boon came, only Yama was shaken. And he ultimately agrees. Baba, if I had that IQ of your age, at that age, I would also learned all these things much better. But now you are asking this question, I have to think and then tell you what to do. So, but for the 3rd boon, I think even Kathopanishad wouldn't have come. The whole thing, he starts explaining the 3rd boon, the remaining that Kathopanishad is only explaining the 3rd boon of Nachiketa. So, in service, I Paranchikani Pyatronat Nibod, the Parant na Pashyati. We were interested in looking outside for earning our living, going here and there. And then, after retirement, I thought, Yada Panchavas, Dishtante, Janari, Manasa, Saha, that all our senses have come down. I change this Dishtante as the subsided, that all the senses have come down. It is not at rest, it is gone. So after retirement, learning that one, to even Mananam have not come. Sravanam itself, I have to spend a lot of time in learning the Sanskrit mantra. But thanks to Guruji, I could started sincerely recording all these recording in my Sanskrit. I copy down, right? But there it stays. I have to yet to read it several times to get it into my memory. So, but my journey will continue. Not when I read a fifth sloka, for instance, I understand the fourth sloka better, and then the third sloka better. So I will continue to read again and again so that I understand the previous ones better. So this journey goes on. So probably when I start Mundakopanishad, I will understand Kathopanishad much better. With this, I really thank Guruji for this allowing me to join this course and learn. I hope I will still learn much better with his assistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Venkataraman. Surendra, what way?
Guruji, I know that there are many scholar parties in our class, and I am sort of backbencher. But the seed was there. The reason is that during 1980s, when I was working in Hyderabad, I, along with my colleagues, was attending a Sunday evening discourse at Ramakrishna Math in Secunderabad. Also, I attended Swami Chirvanand Sardar's discourse in BHL premises. And then there was a gap. I went outside working outside India. I returned in 2010, and somehow I felt I should join this Gita Dharma Mandali because I must I must be able to do Gita chanting better. So for 1 year I attended that, and somehow I'm okay with it. Then after that, I thought that I should also understand what is Gita telling chapter by chapter. So there was a Swami Parthasarthi's disciples who were conducting classes in Marathi in Pune, and I attended those for 1 or 2 years. And I was also exposed to one very good book, Vedanta Treatise, during that time. But all this was in Marathi. I was always thinking at the end of it that what is, I remember having told Guruji once that I did not like Sanskrit subject much during my earlier times. So I used to ignore it. But having done this, come this far, I thought, and then it came as a boon because Tattva Bodha message came to me, and from that time onwards, I started attending it. Having gone, taught by Guruji 700 verses one by one of Gita, and also I knocked the door of this profound philosophy of Upanishad. I did also did some summary versions of Upanishad during that time. But to Guruji explaining what must have been thought of Adya Shankaracharya was something which is beyond my expectation. Guruji has really opened a door actually, and I was only knocking at the door. This was my stage. This is my stage even now. But what has changed during that time is my stress level has come down considerably. I have better relationships with many of us, and more clarity in my thinking in Vyavahara and also Adhyatma has come. So these are some of the things which and thanks to Guruji, and this my book number 1421 is already there from Gita Dharma Mandali, Ishadina Upanishad, and I'm waiting for Guruji's to commence the Mundakopanishad. I thank all of you and Guruji for this blessing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Surendraji. Thank you. Anybody else who wants to speak may speak.
Let me see a few words. Let me see a few words.
Sure.
See, when I started listening to Puja Swami Chinmayananda ji in Bombay during 1978 to so when till I was there in Bombay, I had to leave my home at 4:30 in the morning to take his class at 6:30 in the Cross Maidan or Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan or any other place in the Bombay. And evening at 6:30, there will be nearly 50,000, 60,000 people. But for the Upanishad class, there will be hardly 50 to 60 people. So I had to leave my home at 4:30. At 4:30, catch the train to go there. Now science has made us all to do everything through Zoom. That's a great advantage. And that too, when I went to Muscat after so many years in Bombay, there also I got a chance to learn from a disciple of Parsardi. So there was no break. So the journey continued even in the desert stands. And as Surendra ji told, Mr. Atul was a predecessor from Muscat to Vedanta Academy. He used to teach in Pune, as Surendra ji said just. So I was the second person from Pune to join the academy after listening to Parsardi for many years in Pune, especially in Muscat. So what I want to say is, if you are sincere, you get a chance to listen. You are never left alone. You get the guidance. That lighthouse is always there, shining.
Thank you, Raman. Anybody else? Good. So, like many of you, for me also, this is the first time teaching Kathopanishad. But teaching, as you pointed out, is preceded by a lot of studying. And so, like you, I also studied a lot. So it was a good opportunity for me to actually own up the teachings. And I will I will try hard. It is not my nature to say something that I don't believe in, or I don't know. It's very, very difficult for me to say something. Or if I say it, I'll say Swamiji says it like this. I'll say it. I'll put it on his lap. I'll do that sometimes.
No, I'm not able to find out whose audio that is. Sorry.
So it was a good opportunity for me to really consolidate everything I've studied, because every Upanishad is finally going to say the same thing. And so really it should not be hard for me to teach, because I've studied other texts also. But it's not as straightforward as that. And Shankara is just, every Upanishad, he will use different words, and even though he converges to the same message. And there is a parampara here that also I appreciate now, because of the nature of the subject. That's how it is. I think that's the trick that God has played. I don't know if you want to call it a trick, but the study of the sciences we think is difficult, and that Atma which is closest to us is the one that's evading us. But of course, once you get it, then afterwards it's a lot of beautiful detail, and we want to just immerse ourselves in that study. So it gave me an opportunity, because for me I had not taught the Upanishad, and so it's a big responsibility. And Swami Shankaranandaji was actually surprised that without teaching the Moolam, I'm teaching the Bhashyam. Like that, without saying it, he said it. But I'm very happy that I was, as somebody pointed out, initially it was I was wondering how I'm going to do it. But I think it took within about 4, 5, 6 classes, I got a hang of it, and we didn't have to do the 1, 2, 3s after that, I think. So, but somebody called me and said, "I like your 1, 2, 3s." Yeah, one of my classmates called me up and said, "Wow, this is a very nice way of teaching." Like that, she said. So, anyway, thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you that it made me. Uh, you brought out the best in me, and I enjoyed every minute of every hour that I spent here. And I used to always look forward to the Kathopanishad class, and look forward to other classes also. Kathopanishad being Shakara is behind, and so we have to. There's a lot of Sanskrit words, and so we can't just say things that comes to our mind just like that. So it requires a lot more attention and discipline. So I learned that discipline during this course, and it helped me connect with all the other texts. And I learned a lot from Swami Paravidyanandaji. And when I ask questions during the class, why is it Guhyataram? Yesterday I asked the question, Guhyatamam. Well, that's the way he used to challenge us. And so it's his training that I like that way of. And then I used to scratch my head when he asked. All of us would scratch, look at each other. And then, Swami, please give us a clue. That's what I'll say sometimes. Can you give us a clue? Sometimes he will say, if I give you a clue, you will get it. Sometimes he'll say Bhagavad Gita or something he'll say. And so that's a nice game we used to play. And so I thank all of you for staying through and the course. And we will get into Mundaka Upanishad, and with a prayer, Puja Swamiji's favorite Upanishad also. And we will seek his blessings to unfold the Mundaka Upanishad. And I thank all the sevaks also. My job has become easy. I can focus on my teachings, because all recordings and messages and course announcements, everything is happening just like that. Is happening thanks to all the sevaks. And for trust activities, Mohan Sai does all the accounts. Like this, everybody is pitching in, and so I feel very blessed to be in a position like this. And so I thank all of you for sharing your views. It was very nice to hear your background and how you got into this journey and so forth. Every time I hear something like that, it tells me more about because we all know only our experience. I know only my experience. I don't know others' experiences. then you hear all the other possibilities. And so it's always, I learn a lot from all of you. So please, continue to study so that I can teach. Okay, so that's I need you also. So excellent. So I'm happy that we concluded the course in I think almost every week we used to have classes. So I thank Swamiji for the blessings that we got, and Sadatmananda ji, Paravidyananda ji, Paramarthananda ji, Omkarananda ji. I used to talk periodically on and off, and he's not there now, but and we have many people here in class who have studied from various Swamis, Paramarthananda ji, Bhaktasarathi ji, and Sajeev from Swami Bhumananda ji, Ramakrishna Mission. So I feel blessed that all of you bring that wide perspective to the class, and you all feel that it's worth sitting in this class. I think that means a lot to me. So thank you all very much, and we will, with Swamiji's blessings, start Mundakopanishad Bhashyam next week. Not next week, but is it next week or the week after next? I think, yeah, week after next.
Week after next.
Yeah, next week, Deepavali. And Bhagavad Gita also is shortly we're going to be completing. It's moving faster than I thought. So I don't think I'm going fast, but I think the verses somehow I think we've got used to most of the messages we know now. So maybe I don't have to repeat so much or something. So I feel it's moving faster. So plus it's a summary also, I suppose. So that's good. So we will find something else to learn on the Mondays and Wednesdays, twice a week. And I'm thinking of Viveka Chudamani and Shankaracharya's text. I've been wanting to teach one. So Viveka Chudamani is a beautiful text.
Full or anointed?
No, it'll mostly be 108 style, which will be enough for all of us to grasp the entire meaning of the text of the Grantha. And I think you all will enjoy it also because now it's not new to you. The ideas are not new to you. And if you were to teach it, how would it be? And so you get that kind of idea. I thought of many other options, but finally I ended up with the Viveka Chudamani. I mean, I think that's what I'm going to do now. But so once again, thank you for giving me the opportunity, and we will continue to seek the blessings of our acharyas in our journey, Advaita Vedanta. Thank you. Thank you all.
Guruji,
Thank you, Guruji.
Will we be meeting next Thursday morning?
And unless you're going to talk about Maya Panchakam,
Oh, no,
Next
then
Thursday is Deepavali, Hariharan Magode.
okay.
Thursday and Friday, Deepavali.
Okay.
okay. So we'll all get a break next week, and then we'll meet in a couple of weeks. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Om Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Kshobarahitah Brahmanas Santu Nirbhayaah Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay Kumar ji.
Guruji, one quick question. One
Yeah.
quick question.